Do you have any addiction? I mean, really. You can be honest to yourselves, no one is hearing. Well, maybe we need to start by looking a bit closer at the very word addiction. You might think it means I'm addicted to alcohol or drugs or tobacco or whatever. And we know there are shopping addicts and sex addicts and so on. But then new forms of addiction appear all the time, basically. And one of them is addiction to certain digital experiences, such as smartphones, games, social media. There is something you do that gives you a certain reward, pleasure, victory, scores, whatever. So there are people who just want more and more of that. And the thing is that as we try to satisfy our sense organs, you could say, gratify those and get that kick out of our senses one way or other, they get used to it. There's some saturation level there. And in the mind maybe too. You just don't feel the same satisfaction and fulfillment as you did in the beginning, right? Whether it's about taking a drug or having sex or eating something. Oh, how enjoyable that was. Let's do it again. Of course, especially as a kid, that's what you think. Let's do it again. It was so good. And then you eat it again and you wonder, hey, why didn't it taste so good this time? I think all of us had this experience, right? So there is a saturation level. It's a little tricky, this thing. But it's quite easy to understand, at least for me, that you might slip into that kind of compulsive behavior. One is just doing it again and again and again and again, especially if one is trying to avoid something else in life, or if life is otherwise not satisfying, or is gray or empty, or there's some problem. It may seem to be a nice way out. But just as popping a pill or taking a shot or having a smoke or something like that will only take you out of that boring or uncomfortable reality for a few hours, so will any of those distractions do. Play a game over and over and over again, which of course will take your consciousness, your attention, your life basically, away from what's going on otherwise around you in the world. And oops, another day gone. Well, I will do all of those things I want to do in my life, all these nice plans, using my talent. I will do that tomorrow. Tomorrow, it's all going to be okay. I will give all this up tomorrow, or let's say Monday. So, whatever it is, we need to start there. Look at your life, look at yourself, look at what's going on in your mind there. And oops, oh, I have one thing here I'm doing actually, which I could say is an addiction. Maybe it's a small thing, maybe it's not harmful or anything, but, well, it wastes a lot of time. And so many hours actually every day. I didn't realize, gosh, sitting up late at night doing it. And then I sleep badly and yeah, I'm really tired when I get up in the morning. And because of that, I'm a bit irritated sometimes and not feeling very well during the day. I drink too much coffee then. But then it seems so hard to get out of them because we need that enjoyment, that satisfaction, that gratification, the fulfillment that seems to come from that activity. Why should I just live a healthy but boring life? But yes, we actually find it in the old scriptures of India, for instance, Bhagavad Gita, where it says a person may try to give up the lower taste, a taste for something that is really not satisfying or beneficial or anything like that, while the attraction for that still persists, still remains. And that's what we all know happens when we're trying to quit smoking or whatever. But, the Bhagavad Gita continues, if one experiences a higher taste, then the lower taste will disappear automatically on its own. And that is really, in all its simplicity, very profound if you think about it, and very natural, very obvious way of dealing with it. In other words, if we translate it to our addiction issue here, it would mean that you just stuff so many other good things, I mean actually good and satisfying and enjoyable things, fun things, into your day, and they fill you up with that satisfaction that you're looking for, and that's it. So Bhagavad Gita teaches us there that when we more widen our own awareness, deepen our awareness into understanding ourselves and seeing and perceiving ourselves as we actually are, not just as some bodies moving around out there in the world of the senses, but as the one in here, and that we are actually the one in here, because the body is like a vehicle. There's a little verse there in Sanskrit saying, Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma Nasochati Nakankshati. A person who is on that platform of awareness that, yes, I am that person within here, and I am in myself, within myself, by my very nature, an enjoyer. Prasanatma, I'm enjoying, I'm happy. That's by my very nature. And you find many Sanskrit verses there in this ancient Indian literature, Ananda Mayo Vyasat, that the living being is by nature an enjoyer. And that's why you find that word Ananda all over in meditation groups or whatever. The bliss, the joy, the happiness, the real satisfaction that we're looking for. So therefore you could say that this yoga is a path that is meant for that. It can start with a very, very simple little change of habit. Why don't you try this thing, make this thing a habit, such as sitting down in the morning, if only for a short while, shutting out the outside world and meditating. Many people do that today.